So when we are talking about young athletes, that's children and adolescents also, okay, teenagers as well as children who are into sports. So our major concentration would be we have to take care of the nutritional aspect, not just for their athletic performance, but also the ones that will enhance their growth and development. Okay, so energy requirement, obviously hydration, because they we'll discuss that later also when we talk about dehydration causes in teenagers and children. They are at the higher risk of getting dehydrated as compared to adults. Okay, their immunity related issues, their performance, okay, growth and recovery. So for all these things, adults will have a specific idea based on their training, but all these factors are quite new to the young athlete. Okay, so you have to guide them thoroughly through all these stages. So when it comes to burning the fuel or burning the energy, okay, it's definitely seen that young athletes naturally they have a higher metabolism rate as compared to older athletes or adult athletes. Okay, their energy consumption as well as burning down the energy is at a much higher level. Okay, and even the body fat level, you can see it even if they indulge in too much of fat rich food, but it will not affect their weight. Okay, because if I ask you the question, what do you think, will a children or young athlete burn fat faster or carbohydrate faster? What is your take on it? What do you think? Yeah, the young athletes are able to burn fat faster as compared to even if you give the same amount of endurance activity, 1 hour of endurance activity to an adult athlete and 1 hour of endurance activity to a young athlete. Okay, you'll see the fat burning capacity of the young athlete is much higher as compared to adult athlete. So that's the way how they burn their fuel. Their metabolic rate is quite high during their youth days. Okay. Now coming to the protein requirement on page number 234. So basically most children, okay, active, inactive, sedentary, okay, whatever may their lifestyle be, most children will require at least 1 gram of protein per kg of their body weight. Okay, but the kids who are active, who are into sports curriculum, etc., 1.1 to 2.1.2 gram of protein per kg body weight is preferred. Okay, and how can you give this amount of protein? See, counting it to the teeth is quite difficult, so make sure that 2 to 4 portions of protein rich food is given throughout the day. Okay, so can you give any examples of protein rich food? This protein rich food, any examples which is easily consumed by kids? Okay, like not the protein rich foods that you which you're going to mention here, like what the adults would prefer. Okay, protein rich food easily consumed by kids. Pulses, soya. Okay, it is very difficult to feed a child. Okay, adolescents and teenagers and children, when you're talking about teenagers and children, if you are focusing more on pulses and soya, etc., in their diet, it is very difficult to feed them. Okay, eggs and all, most of the kids will have, they like paneer also. Okay, milk is very easy because you can make milkshake, you can make chocolate drinks. Okay, milkshake, chocolate drinks, some strawberry flavored milkshakes and all, you can give it to the child, they will consume it quickly. Okay, nuts, yeah, nuts also, they on the go they can have. Okay, so when we are talking about this protein rich food, it should be in 3 to 1 second. So that is how you can calculate the protein portions. Okay, 2 to 4 portions, 1 portion or 2 portion in breakfast, one during any meals or snacks, one during lunch and dinner. Okay, that's how you have to calculate the portions of protein rich food. Now coming So supplements are not required, like how adults will consume whey protein powder and all protein supplements. It's not at all recommended or not at all required by kids who are below 18-year-old. Okay, you have to teach them why we do not encourage supplements in this age, because we have to teach them most of the macronutrients, since protein is a macronutrient. Okay, macronutrients we have to consume most of it from our diet itself. Okay, from our balanced diet itself. Okay, if it is micronutrients, vitamin supplements, that we can give. But when we are discussing about protein supplements, it is not recommended to give protein powders or protein specific protein bars or supplements to the kids. We have to encourage them to have their protein supplements from the diet itself, from the meal itself. Okay. Next, coming to carbohydrates, 4 to 6 portions on a daily basis of carbohydrate should be consumed. And you can add more than 5 portions of fruits and vegetables. Okay, divide it among the meals and in the vegetables among the meals and fruits as snacks. Okay, so more than 5 portions of fruits and vegetables is recommended. It's a good quality of healthy but low glycemic index carbohydrate. Okay, and 2 to 4 portions of dairy products, which will definitely include milk, yogurt, curd, buttermilk. Okay. Next, coming to pre-exercise snacks. Remember this thing: pre-exercise. There is pre-exercise snack and there is pre-exercise meal. Okay, if you are going to exercise within 2 hours, okay, from the time you are going to have something, any amount of food, and then after 2 hours you're going to hit the gym or you're going to train the young athlete. You have a two hour of gap. Then it is considered that you should have a pre-exercise meal. Okay, but if there is just 1 hour of gap between your uh, food consumption time and training, there is only just 1 hour or 45 minutes gap, it's ideal to consider eating only a pre-exercise snack. Okay, meal is whatever like lunch, dinner, breakfast. Okay, the main course of the day. Okay, those things becomes your meal. Snacks are what you can have in between. Okay, so any and whole fruit like banana, apple, etc. A whole fruit is considered a good breakfast snack. Milk, a glass of milk. Okay, lightweight sandwich, not the heavy uh, country club chicken sandwich and all. That is not required here. Just a light sandwich like a peanut butter and jam sandwich. Okay, that is a great option here. But if you're giving the child a country club sandwich or something like that, that becomes a pre exercise meal. It will not become a snack. Okay, it should be a very light sandwich with very few fillings. That's all. Okay, cereal bar is considered good. A handful of dried fruits or seeds. Okay, and muffins, if it is homemade. Okay, we do not encourage store bought or packaged muffins or any bakery items. If it is homemade muffins or homemade hot cookies and all, okay, that is fine. So these are some options which you can have as pre-exercise snack. Okay, snacks are consumed just an hour before you hit your training. Okay, now pre-exercise meal at least 2 hours before your training. We have certain goals here when we consider pre-exercise meal. It should also the meal should also hydrate your body. Like if you're starting with a soup, okay, and then continuing to something for starters or something that is main course. Okay, so the entire meal should not just give you macronutrients and micronutrients, but it is also supposed to hydrate you. Okay, it should prevent your muscle breakdown, and after the training you're going to have your meal means it should have protein. Okay, there is no other macronutrient which will help you recover as fast and as good as how protein can help you. So if you are focusing on your recovery, even if you have you have finished a competitive event. Okay, as soon as you have finished your competitive event and then you're moving on with your recovery diet. Okay, you have to consume protein. Okay, protein will help in that muscle tear and muscle recovery, and which boost energy, and it will give you a better performance. So these are the goals of a pre-workout nutrition. May let it be snacks or meals, whatever it is. This is what we are aiming with it. Okay, so if you have 2 to 3 hours before exercise, go for protein vegetables. Okay, carb dense food, that is your entire meal, your chapatis, Okay, bread, whole bread, rice, okay, quinoa, etc. These ragi, jowar, bajra, all these millets and everything, they are carb dense food. Okay, and healthy fats. What you find in an average Indian meal, okay, that all those things will come under, all the macronutrients will come under a pre-exercise meal. Okay, the second option, as we have discussed in the previous slide, that is your pre-exercise snack. If you just have 1 hour before your exercise, just consider a small meal or a small snack. Okay, it could be a protein shake as well. Okay, and if you're dealing with an adult, give them a protein shake. If you're dealing with a child, just give them a glass of water with some chocolate mix or some healthy drink mix. Okay, veggies like in sandwich form, carb dense food, and fat in form of some nuts and seeds. Okay, so eating before the event, normal meal 2 to 3 hours before the event you should have it. Like when you're preparing the child or the teenage for the event, okay, on the day of event, just 2 to 3 hours before the event they can have. Encourage them to use washrooms and toilets. Don't wait for the last moment, because they will be anxious. Okay, the children will be anxious about their performance on the day of their event. It could lead them to go to a quick bathroom runs. Okay, frequent bathroom runs. So encourage them to do that, and make sure at least 45 minutes before they hit their event they are well hydrated. And if the event is lasting more than 90 minutes and all, they have to take some workout snacks along with them. They have to indulge in sports drink. Okay, you have to give them that training. But sports drink, which is which has 4 to 6 grams of sugars, okay, in per portion of sports drink, which has 4 to 6 grams of sugar, it is given only during any event that will last 90 minutes or more. Okay, if it is a small event like sprinting, okay, long jump, swimming, something like that, small quick, in few minutes the events may get over. In such cases, you do not have to indulge in heavy carbohydrate sports drink. You can dilute the sports drink with water, alternate the sports drinks with water. Okay, otherwise if the child or the teenager is into a long duration endurance sport, okay, for that you have to give them high carb snack. Nutritious drink, we will still recommend fruit drinks. Okay, fresh fruit juices, and squash juices. Light snacks. Okay, not light snack, which means it is dense in carbohydrates, some amount of protein, but it should not have too much of fat. Okay, can you give any examples of any light snacks, or comes to your mind, which has high carbohydrate content to it but low fat content to it? Light snacks in from an Indian cuisine point of view. Salad may become a part of the meal. Like mostly salads are the part of a meal, and salads can't give you too much of carbohydrates. Okay, it has carbohydrates in form of dietary fiber more than what it can give you energy, because just before the event we want to load up on our energy. Okay, so salads cannot will not break down that easily to give you energy. Yes, rice flakes are good, and a good option. This dry roasted poha, have you heard of this dry roasted poha with some sugar, some nuts? Yeah, a kind of chivda kind of, but not the one that is roasted with fat and oil. Dry roasted chivdas. Yeah, fruits like banana, apple. Okay, even puffed rice, roasted puffed rice with some caramel or a bit of sugar. Why we are adding sugar is that it will give you quick energy. Okay, the young athlete is anyway going to burn down the energy during the event. So we can add sugar into it to give that quick energy. Okay. And always remember, familiar food and drinks should be given. Nothing new should be tried in that entire 1 week uh, before the event. Okay. If you want to try anything new, let the event get over, and then you can put the child on any diet or any new food recommendations. But do not try any new foods or drinks on the day of event, or even better, do not even try anything new the entire week of the event. Okay. High carb snacks should be given, carbohydrates rich snacks should be given. So but we should be careful that we are not adding too much of fat into it. Okay. So snacks during the training and competition, what should be avoided, what we can give. So grains, you can give them. Okay, they have low fat, low sugar cookies, fig cookies, wafers, oatmeal raisin. Okay, cereal fruit bars, or any carbohydrate bars can be given. Dairy products should be avoided during competition. Do not give any dairy product because it may lead to regurgitation and it may lead to nausea and vomiting. So avoid dairy products during competition because the event has started. Okay, or event is going to start in 2 hours or so, and you are going to just fuel up the athlete with some energy. Do not give them any milkshake or any dairy based products. Okay. Meat also not suggested for during the training or competition. Okay, avoid meat and meat because it is fat rich. Okay, it can make the athlete feel lethargic, and meat being fat rich, it will take a lot of time to digest. Okay, anything that will take a lot of time to digest will give you slow energy, it will not give you quick energy. Okay, all the vegetables and fruits can be given, any fresh fruits, especially like bananas, unsweetened pear juice or water, fruit juices that are unsweetened, diluted with or add a pinch of salt just for that electrolyte balance. Okay. Sport gels and drinks, we have discussed this earlier. Again, the repeat classes will be taken. Okay. Sugar, candy, honey, all these things can be given. So coming to post-workout snacks, again we are adding a lot of fruits and vegetables into this also. But if the event has got over, you can allow the athlete to indulge in some junk food or whatever that cheat diet is. But if the event is still remaining, okay, if the event is still remaining and you have just finished your training session, post training you have to, whatever post workout snack you're giving, you have to make sure that each and every sport post workout snack on every day, it has some amount of protein. Okay, even if it is 3:1, like 3 parts of carbohydrates and 1 part of protein, that is still okay, that could still be taken up. Okay, so that has to be given. Apple with almond butter or peanut butter. In instead of hummus and pita bread, you can give chapati and the chole bhature. Okay, that could also be given. It's a good source of protein. Chana dal, like that. Ghee, yogurt or lassi, something like that. If you do not have access to yogurts, you can definitely give lassi, which is not sweetened with sugar. Okay, not highly sweetened with sugar, with honey or stevia. You can give that. So yeah, instead of hummus, pita bread, etc., you can just switch it with chapatis and chickpeas. Greek yogurt, if it is not available, you can definitely switch with any curd based dishes what Indian cuisines have. Okay, green smoothies, etc. You can just switch it with some palak paneer or palak dal or something like that. Scrambled eggs like everything. Burji, anda burji we can make. Okay, protein bars, if you can't cook anything, or if your cooking does not have too much of protein in it, just add a protein bar as a dessert for the post workout snack. Next, coming to dehydration, young athletes are more susceptible to dehydration. Okay, because they, first of all, children, they don't respond to thirst as effectively as how adults would. Okay, because even if the adults are feeling slightly thirsty, they know they are thirsty, they will respond to it. Kids will not do that. Okay, they will continue playing and jumping around, they will not respond to their thirst mechanism. Okay, and their bodies are like, when you see the adult body and the child's body, majority of the children's body weight comes from their body fat. Okay, body fat and body muscles, as compared to adults, healthy adults, lean adults, their most of the body fat is from their skeletal muscles and skeletal tissue. Okay, not from the fat composition, not from the adipose tissue composition. But in children it's not the case. Okay, also they do not sweat as efficiently as how adults would. Okay, they are not, they don't sweat as much as how adults would. So sweating helps in cooling down the body. Okay, sweating helps in preventing heat stroke. Since young athletes don't sweat much, they are at the higher risk of getting heat stroke because of an underlying dehydration as well. Okay, so these are all the other factors that lead to young athletes getting more heat strokes and dehydration as compared to adult athletes. Okay, so it's suggested that 75 to 100 ml every 15 minutes during your training session. Okay, and before you start exercise, it has to be consumed. Okay, and at the throughout the day, like if it is possible to keep a count on the cups, or just give them a water bottle that can specifically fill up 6 to 7 cups, and ask them to finish it before sunset. Okay, and after sunset they can add 2 to 3 more cups during their dinner time. Okay, this is the fluid consumption. Fluid consumption means we are not just focusing on water consumption, we are focusing on all the smoothies, shakes, milk, soup, everything, all the fluid that the a young athlete has consumed throughout the day. Okay, it has to be around 6 to 8 cups of fluid consumption throughout the day, including water. Okay, and before exercise, 150 to 200 ml of water for at least 45 minutes before exercise the child should consume. And as soon as the child starts doing the exercise, okay, every 15 minutes they have to take a break, consume take a sip of at least 75 ml of water or 100 ml of water, and then resume the exercise. These are the tips that you can give to basic generally all the young athletes below 18 years of age. So what kind of drinks can you suggest them? First and foremost, it is water. Okay, fruit juices, sports drinks. Sports drink, as I mentioned, if the exercise is lasting more than 90 minutes, then you have to give them sports drink which has 4 to 6 gram of sugars per drink or per 100 ml. If it is a small sports activity, okay, sports drink can be substituted with just water, plain water. Okay, a squash also you can give one part of squash in at least 10 parts of water or 6 parts of water. Avoid giving them alcohol, coffee, cold drinks, etc. Next, coming to vitamin supplements as well as creatine supplements. If the child's we do not actually recommend giving them multivitamin or mineral supplements, but the thing is, most of the kids, okay, they are not just performing athletes, but also the regular kids. They do not have a well balanced diet. Even if the parents are feeding them a well balanced diet, they do not finish their meals. Okay, or they may just dunk out their tiffin outside in the school, nobody knows. Okay, and they could lead it go into some deficiencies. So it is ideal to give them, especially performing athletes, it's ideal to give them multivitamin and mineral supplement to prevent such deficiencies. But in no way, these multivitamins or minerals have shown to enhance any athlete's performance. Okay, giving them multivitamins and minerals just for the sake of performance enhancement or making your kids more brainy, that won't work. That's not the purpose here. The purpose here is to prevent any micronutrient level deficiency. Okay, so my multivitamins we can give, but when it comes to creatine supplements, okay, creatine is supposed to retain a lot of water in your muscle to give out energy. Okay, so creatine supplements are not recommended for anyone who under 18. Okay, it's recommended only for adults, but for teenagers and children, creatine supplements are not recommended. Okay. Next, coming to a tricky case of weight issue, like losing weight. Even if the athlete is quite slim, but there could be some peer pressure, because even if you are of the same weight as your friend, okay, when we're taking two teenagers, okay, both the teenagers are of the same weight, let's say 50 kgs, but their body build would be completely different. One would have a naturally lean body build because of the genetics, other may have a broader body build. Okay, so make sure that for some focused athletes, body focus based performances like ballets, gymnasium, etc. Naturally, the teenager who is bit broader in build will have some unsolved issues with body images. You have to note such patterns. Okay, if the child is trying to lose a lot of weight while on training and it's a female child, there is a risk that the child may go into a female athlete triad. Okay, you have to prevent that as well. So there are plenty of do's and don'ts and how to treat the child from on page number 247 onwards to page number 252. Okay, there are various recommendations, what you have to say, what you have to give them. Do not ban any food. Okay, do not use food as reward. There are various mechanisms as a dietitian, and as a coach, which you can follow. So please do a self study on that. It is very interesting to read that. You have to understand that. That this reading has to be done from your part. The self study on how to encourage children, if they want to lose weight, let them lose weight, but how to encourage a healthy weight loss, okay, without affecting their body image status. Okay, so that's what losing weight here means. So for teenagers and children, make sure you do not make them lose more than 1 or 2 kg per month. Give them as much of time required. Don't give them weeks to lose weight, give them months to lose weight. Okay, give them months to lose weight, and at least 3 to 4 weeks before the final event, they should reach their weight goals. So keep the weight goals very realistic. Okay, don't set any unrealistic weight goal. Keep the weight goals very realistic. Give them enough and more time to lose weight. But because if you trust on them any specific date, by this day you have to lose this much of weight, they may get agitated. They may have some negative coping issues with food. The relationship with their food may damage over a period of time, so you have to avoid that. So that's the reason why we give them as much of time required to lose the weight, and highly recommended that not to lose more than 2 kilos per month. Okay, and about BMI, you can just check the specifically the BMI of overweight and obese children is given on page number 247, table 12.6. For all these kids, okay, the kids who come under this BMI range, all the principles and guidelines which are given from page number 247 to 252 till to page number 252, you have to follow the same guidelines by coaching these kids. Okay, so that's your self-study part. Next, coming to the weight gain tips for young athletes. Okay, first is consistency. Eat consistent meals and snacks every day and follow a schedule. If the child is not following a proper schedule, it will be very difficult to put them on a training pattern, as well as along with the training, if they want have to gain weight, without a proper scheduling of their meals, it will not be possible, because the body has to get into the cycle. With a proper schedule, naturally the child will have an appetite for that particular time. and the child, when the child has an appetite and the child gets food on table by that time, there are high chances that the child will complete and finish that meal. Okay, if the child is not on a schedule, even and if the child is hungry after a few days being on schedule, and for a few days the child is not was off schedule. Okay, by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock the child was used to having breakfast, now missed few days for having breakfast. Even if the child feels hungry, the child may think that okay, I can have it later, and by later it means that the child is skipping breakfast and directly going to brunch or lunch. Okay, and that window was essential for weight gain. Okay, and now that window has passed, so weight gain will not take place. So that's the reason why putting the child, especially the child who is on a weight gain journey, putting them on a schedule is important, because we need to bring back the appetite in the child's regime on a particular time of the day. Okay, and that particular time of the day, when you feed the child, when you give food to the child, there are high chances that the child will completely eat whatever is given without wasting food. Okay, without going into undernourishment. Add as much as variety of food groups. Okay, at least three different food groups should be there per meal. Don't just give only carbohydrate meal or only protein meal. There should be a mix of all macro and micronutrients in a single meal. For snacks, at least two different food groups. Okay, cereals or pulses. Okay, some like for example, if you give them peanut bars, okay, peanut is protein, and you have sugar and some cereals added to it, fruits and nuts added to it. Okay, that becomes a two food group snack. Portions, you have to increase the portion but not too much. Increase the portion by 100 calories, 200 calories. That's how you have to start. Add spreads and sauces, and whatever enhances the taste of the meal, add that. And work with a sports dietitian that you will already be. Once you finish this course, you will be a sports dietitian. So encourage the children, whatever doubts they have to come to you. Next, coming to the exercise and or strength training or resistance training in young athletes. For 9-year-old, 14, 25, this is the different range of young athletes what you see. Okay, early teenagers, mid teenagers, late teenagers. So when it comes to dealing with a child who is just 9 or about 9-year-old and all, focus on skill, their fitness through a resistant program. Do not put them on exercise machines, etc. That's not necessary. And most of the time, exercise machines are built for adults. It's not built for children. Okay, not yet. So don't put them on machines. Just focus on their skill and fitness, like doing push-ups and all, taking lifting their own body weight. Okay, like rock climbing. Okay, hanging by the poles, etc. Whatever fitness routines that they can do, they can perform with the help of their own body weight without adding too much of instruments and props. Okay, you have to focus on that when you're dealing with a 9-year-old young athlete. If it is a 14-year-old, again, skill and fitness, correct techniques should be taught here. Resistant training with lightweight and high repetition, like dumbbells and everything, can be added here. Heavy weights should be avoided because their skeletal muscles are still being developed. When 20 or 25-year-old, it is an adult athlete. At that time, you can put them on exercise machines. Okay, power technique, bulk technique. Okay, all these different techniques which can enhance the appearance of muscles as well. Okay, because maximum majority of the growth has been achieved, so we do not have to worry about shrinking them. We can enhance the appearance of how they look. Okay, so that can be done only with adult athletes. So for all the teenagers and young athlete, it's better to prevent them from going to gym. Okay, prevent them from putting into being on exercise or treadmills or anything like that. Just use their own body weight, focus, make the focus on their skill techniques. Okay, learning that minute techniques and all, that is more important than bulking up. Any doubts here, please mention in the chat box.